This is not a childbirth story. It's an afterbirth story. But I will say this about giving birth. There is no childbirth class in the world that could have prepared me for the transcendental pain, endless hours of pushing, and animalistic lack of modesty. On the bright side, at least I didn't shit myself. In addition to the customary soreness and holy shit, there is no way I am ever going to be able to have sex ever again, it felt as if I had a dry stick stuck up my ass. I was terrified to go to the bathroom because it felt as if I was pooping shards of glass. I made unachievable pacts with God to please let me never, ever shit again. I spoke with one of the nurses at my gyno to explain my situation. Hi, I'm having a great deal of pain in my rear, and, well, it kind of itches inside, but it's an itch that I really can't get to, but if I could itch it, it would really hurt. There's an audible sigh from the nurse. Is the region of pain your anus? Are we referring to your anus? I cringe and say, yes, we are talking about my anus. Well, the nurse thinks that I might have hemorrhoids and phones in a prescription for suppositories. I have to shove these things up my anus for 7 days. This is dire because I don't want anything to come out of my anus, and now I have to put things into my anus. Much to my shock and awe, these suppositories do not help, and I feel even worse. I happen to have an appointment with my general doctor to get the flu shot, so I ask him what's going on. He is a 68-year-old Brooklyn Jew, New England transplant. He is blunt and no nonsense. We actually have a great deal in common. So, sounds like you have hemorrhoids. Well, what do they look like? Look like? Does this man realize that I do not want to look at my lady parts at all right now because I am certain that they resemble ground beef? Are they swollen and purpley red? Look, do you have big purple red hemorrhoidal clusters protruding from your anus? I stare in silent horror. My doctor stares back, playing the straight man, waiting for an actual answer. Well, see, I haven't actually looked at the whole cookie since I've given birth, and while I'm very comfortable looking and exploring my body, and I listened to Free to Be You and Me all the time when I was a kid growing up, and I really hope to raise my daughter with a similar sense of pride and comfort with her body, and I'm actually looking for a copy of Free to Be You and Me, but I mean, I haven't, there's still stitches in there, so I don't want to look at it, I don't want to look at it. It's now my doctor's turn to stammer, I think you should call your gynecologist and speak with her. My gyno thinks that it's time to call in the big guns and makes an appointment for me to see an ass surgeon because whatever's going on is definitely not hemorrhoids. He enters the examining room, and without much more than a grunt hello, he tells me to lie down on my side. He lubes up a finger and agonizingly slides it up my ass. The scene kind of reminds me of Marlon Brando in Last Tango in Paris, and I'm surprised he's not telling me to go and get the butter. He pokes and he swivels his finger around a few times and says, And with a final twist, he pulls his finger out and beckons me into his office. Sitting at his desk, he greets me with a smile and a huge, color glossy cross-section of the entire ass area. This here is a hemorrhoid, and it is external. You are experiencing pain internally here in your sphincter. You have a fissure or rip in your sphincter. Well, with the first utterance of the word sphincter, I stifle a giggle. But then he says it again and again, so all I hear is sphincter, blah, 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 sphincter, 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 sphincter. You have a severe anal fissure caused by excessive pushing during childbirth. One option is we can prescribe a nitroglycerin suppository that you take for a month. But we don't recommend that because you are breastfeeding. I think, oh, that's the only reason why you don't recommend it? How about because it's nitroglycerin that I have to shove up my ass for a month? My ass doctor continues. Or really, your golden ticket is we should operate. Imagine your anus is like a pie. I will cut out a wedge or slice of that pie. It will allow your sphincter to relax and heal. We call this operation a sphincterotomy. I highly recommend that you get a sphincterotomy. I lose it. The months of constant pain and humiliations and sleepless nights and my near inability to sit or shit or freaking enjoy my newborn baby girl, and Dr. Cornholio over here wants to give me a sphincterotomy? I freak. A what? You're gonna give me a what? A sphincterotomy? Is that for real? Nobody cuts out a pizza slice of ass. Who the hell has ever heard of a sphincterotomy? Dr. Cornholio says with the most unamused look on his face, of course, I have heard of a sphincterotomy. And I have performed many. And you need one if you want to feel any better. I had the sphincterotomy. And true to his claim, I did begin to finally feel better. And at the time I bemoaned, nobody ever told me about this. And even if a woman did, and some do, tell of this path of destruction that is just wreaked upon your body when you have a baby, you don't really believe it until you experience it firsthand. And who is going to believe in anything called a sphincterotomy?